1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
When the kids
Yeah.
counting sheep. When the kids go to sleep, dreams and memories.
Sing right here. Here we go. Ready?
When the kids go to sleep.
Good
Yeah!
job. Oh, we got an applause.
Listen,
too.
they're clapping
Listen to that
for you.
crowd. They love you.
And she's like, where's
It's pretend.
They're under the table. Everybody's under the table.
Do you see
Look,
him?
do you see him?
Hey, you liar.
I'm a liar. Haven't you learned that about your father yet? Do you think I'm a liar?
Yes.
I am.
Oh, snap.
I think we're going to regret having Babytard on the...
on the podcast.
Kids say the darndest things. You guys, whatever she says is just
Don't believe
an
her.
illusion. It's in her mind. Whatever she says.
She doesn't know what she's talking about.
I love you. She's getting this beauty mark. Did you notice this right here?
She's always been beauty
It's always
marked.
been right there. I
Marked with beauty.
The other day I thought it was like a piece of food that was stuck to her face, and I went
You
to
tried to scrap it.
I tried
Scrap
to scrap it off, and then I said, "You got a freckle right there," and then she corrected me, and she said, "It's a beauty mark."
Oh, really?
Who told you it was a beauty mark?
Carly?
She did. Yeah, Carly has one
She's
too.
right.
That's what ugly
She's
people
right.
say.
You're beautiful. Tell your daddy's a
Just
bugger.
kidding. You remind me of your Aunt
You're a
Carly.
booger.
I know. I'm a big fat booger. Look.
Ew.
Eat
Ew.
it. Eat it. Oh, you ate my boogers. All right, welcome to the podcast When the Kids Go to Sleep right here in Los Angeles, California at Maker Studio.
I didn't touch the microphone.
Good.
didn't
We told her
touch
not to
it.
touch the microphone. All right, so big news, you guys. A lot of you have been asking about the other ShayCarl Volcom shirts, the red one. Blake will put up the 3 shirts right here. The red one, the white one, the one that Colette wears with her yellow pants.
I love it.
When you guys were in Park City, Carly sent me a picture of you guys on the gondola, and you're wearing this white Volcom shirt with your yellow pants. And I was
Yep.
like, dang, girl. And then the blue one, the ShayCarl Volcom shirt. So those are now live on Rodeo Arcade.
I think she likes hearing her voice
yeah.
in the microphone.
That's the funnest part about the podcast is like, whoa, I sound like a radio DJ. So check those out. They're shipping to Canada, Europe. All you Europeans who didn't get a chance to get them when they were on the Volcom site, we're sending them all over the world.
Yes.
Look at her face.
So you can get them on Volcom and Rodeo Arcade.
Yes, yes. They might be sold out on Volcom, but if you want to check out, there's different colors on different sites. So go to Volcom if you want the other ones, and then go to Rodeo Arcade
See,
for
I
these
don't
new
think I
ones.
realized that, so it's
Yeah.
good to know.
Baby
Whoa,
Tart's
zucchini bread.
eating her zucchini bread. Is that
Don't
your
get
favorite?
it on the microphone, okay?
Leave it over here, dude. You're making a lot of noise with you. There you go. Here, I'll just set your
Don't mind the
bread.
zucchini bread.
All right, so today we have Babytard with us
Our
because
special guest.
Ow.
we actually didn't plan on her being a guest on the podcast, but today at 2 we have to take her to her school to go. It's like
It's like kindergarten orientation type thing where we go and she gets to meet our teacher and stuff, just so they're not terrified on the first day
yeah.
going for all day and they don't know anybody. So we're going to go meet your teacher and hopefully you won't make that face at her.
Are you gonna be nice to your teacher? Yeah, I bet you will.
She nodded her head.
Mommy and Daddy get to go with her on the first day to go and.
So she's joining us in the podcast because we wouldn't have time to go pick her up again. And then it just worked out perfectly because she looks so adorable in
Do you
this
look
pink
adorable?
shirt.
Do you want to be on the podcast or just eat zucchini bread?
It's like, do you really want me to answer that?
Roth, you're gonna have to clean off this microphone in here. There's zucchini bread everywhere.
Don't get zucchini bread on it.
So Babytard is starting kindergarten. Can you believe our little Babytard is starting
How do you feel
kindergarten?
about that, Babytard?
Are you excited?
You gotta talk in the
Talk
mic.
in the microphone. Talk in the microphone.
Yes.
This is podcast 101 today.
When she woke up this morning, I was like trying to get the kids to wake up because we had to take Colette's van in to get fixed, and Babytard woke up and was like, "School?" Like she's all excited about school.
Yeah.
No, not today.
Not
well, I
yet.
guess we are going to school today, huh?
Don't do that.
Don't scratch the microphone. So Babytard,
She's like an animal.
I know,
Don't
it's like,
stop, down,
stop,
down,
don't touch,
sit.
don't don't touch. So tell us your favorite thing about your mom and your dad.
Oh, this is fun. Maybe.
Do you like your mom or your dad better?
Both of you.
Ha ha! She's old enough
They're
to
smart.
give the politically correct answer.
But guess what? You brought us to a movie.
I did. What movie did we go to the other night?
Diary Kid.
And tell them about us trying to find the movie. What happened?
We were gonna see Ice Age, and we went to another movie theater that we didn't see it there.
Why not?
Because they didn't have it.
They didn't have it because we went to go see Ice Age 4. We were all excited. We went to the
looked it
Grove.
up on this app on my phone, and it said Ice Age 10:30 at this theater.
Yeah,
and
movie
we get
phone.
there.
You lame piece of crap iPhone app.
There was
Let
no
us
Ice Age.
astray. So we go to this theater. We went to the Grove in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? It's called the Grove in Hollywood. It's really cool, like mall area, and there's like this huge theater, and we're all excited. We got the Tart excitement. We're all gonna get some snacks and treats, and we go in and we like go to get the movie to go to see Ice Age, and it wasn't playing because the app was wrong.
It was so sad. And the only other movies we're playing were like PG-13, so we didn't have any other options really.
Total Recall and The Bourne Supremacy, which Mommy Tart didn't want
We're
the
like,
kids to see.
Babytard, do you want to learn about shooting stuff and the spies? And I don't even remember that
So
movie.
then we ended up finally finding a movie theater that played Diary of a Wimpy Kid starting at 10:20 at night.
Yes.
And we went and saw it.
And Wtkgts stayed awake for the whole thing.
It was hilarious. What was
It
your
was
favorite part of
fun.
that movie?
When they jumped off.
Jumped off what?
That was the last part.
When
You
he jumped
gotta
off
sit
the
up,
diving
Zoe.
board? Sit up. They can't see you.
No, not the diving board.
What part?
The last part.
When did they jump off at the last part?
The stage? When she like fell into the chocolate fountain? Is that what you're talking about?
No.
Of Diary of a Wimpy Kid? Dude.
Oh, the last part when they're in the pool with the girl and they jump into the water.
That was your
Okay.
favorite part?
Not from the diving board.
They just jumped off the side of the diving board, off the side of the pool.
I bet it's your favorite part because
No.
it was the ending, and the ending's always the happy part.
Because guess what?
What?
They were laying down on something, and they rolled off.
Oh, they were on those little like,
Inner tubes. I honestly, I was starting to like
remember it.
read Twitter at that point. I'm like, this movie is lame. Plus, that kid is kind of a brat. Like throughout the whole movie, he's like a bad kid. He's like always is like doing all this, and I guess like the moral of the movie is that like it's okay to make mistakes, but like he kept doing all these bad things throughout the movie. Like the main kid
Did
in
learn
it.
his lesson.
Yeah,
The big one?
yeah. Well, the kid who like was lying, and he was going to the country club, and he was getting in for free, and he was racking up this big bill on smoothies. Remember that part? And I was telling Colette, I'm like, I don't know if I want Suntard reading these books anymore. This kid's like
Too late. He's
like
already
a
read them all.
brat.
Guess what?
What?
When it was nighttime, the big kid asked him that it's not nighttime anymore, so let's wake up for school, and it was still nighttime. And he was lying.
He was. She's making stuff up. I have no idea what she's talking about.
Just say, oh, okay.
So,
Cool.
Baby Tart, somebody here asks on Twitter. They wanted to ask you, how do you feel about going back to school? Jenna9397 wants to know how you feel about going to school for your first year.
Happy.
Are you excited?
Hands up in the air, happy.
Uh-huh.
Are you nervous about anything? Are you nervous about bullies? What are you going to do? Let me ask you a question. What if when you go to school tomorrow, there's a little boy who walks up to you when you're out at recess, and he comes up and he tries to take your backpack away from you? What are you going to do?
Ask the teacher.
What are you going to say to her?
I'll say, he took my backpack.
And what if she like tells him not to, but then when you're at lunch, he comes in and he tries to take your peanut butter and jelly sandwich? What are you going to do then?
I'm going to tell the lunch girl.
You going to tell the lunch girl? That's good. That's good. Don't resort to violence, okay?
What do you say to the boy?
Don't steal it.
Don't steal my sandwich, bro.
Do you think I think you're pretty tough because you have to deal with a pretty tough sister at home. Sit up, dude.
And Wtkgts. Wtkgts trying to He's getting to that age where he starts being up.
Yesterday, Wtkgts came up to Babytard and literally tackled her and like grabbed her around the neck and like drug her down onto the ground. And he's getting where he's like 30 plus pounds or something, so he can kind of like hold his own with Babytard. And I told her, I said, you better be careful because he's gonna start beating you up. So you're gonna start having to hold your own with Wtkgts because you're like
giggled
small.
the whole time. It was funny.
Remember that we were at the store?
Yeah,
He tickled me.
I remember he tickled you, and he was slapping you in the face too.
And he scratched my neck.
He scratched your neck, huh? It's because you're small like him, so he's like the wolf. He's trying to like just become dominant, so he's trying to like overtake you, and you're the smallest one. Yeah, he started slapping you, huh? Yeah, what a jerk.
So what are you gonna do about it?
Yeah.
Are you just gonna let him start beating you up, or are you gonna start beating him back?
Beat me up. I tickled him and then he tickled me.
She laughs the whole time, like
She
when
does.
he's
She thinks
wrestling
it's
her. She
hilarious.
thinks it's hilarious. And the funny thing is if your sister or Tart does anything like that to you, you freak out and start crying. But if Wtkgts does it, like
That's
she can.
the thing. He can do anything, and everybody in the house is like, "Oh, look!"
Wtkgts is like our little amusement pet. He just is so cute. I think
He
you have
is
some of your
adorable.
zucchini bread on my microphone.
What?
Zucchini bread face. All right, so let's go to a few other questions. This one's for Mommy Tard. Miss Nikki Neko says, how do you deal with mean comments directed at the kids?
Well, you just ignore them. Sometimes you block them. But yeah, it's just life's too short to pay any attention to the haters, really.
And that's why we
So-
appreciate you, those of you who like give us the good comments, and not even necessarily just like, I love you, Shay, and you guys are the best, but constructive comments. Like we really appreciate those,
Right.
Comments that we can read that, we can say like, oh, that's like a real thought that went into like, what we're making in the video that we
Yeah.
made.
This is fun.
There was a time. There was a time when it used to bother me a lot, but I've learned that it's really just people expressing whatever frustrations and anger through any way that they can, and I'm over it, I guess.
And that's
You
kind
know,
of
you
another
just-
reason that we use.
It sort of makes you feel sorry for those kind of people.
Yeah, because they're directing hate, towards kids. So it's like, what kind of person are they? What?
Are we going to see my school?
Yes,
At 2
we will.
o'clock.
It's not time yet.
I think we're gonna regret having Babytard on the podcast.
Ma, are we there yet? Is
we
this
there yet?
over? Seriously. just
That's
told them
one of the
zucchini
reasons we
bread,
use
okay?
the nicknames for the kids is because I remember like I don't want like their names being used, and then have people be able to say whatever they want. One question that I saw right here that was really good: is it hard for you to talk? Martha A. Bowles asks, is it hard for you to talk without the kids, or do you have a set time of the day to talk to one another without them there? That's kind of hard.
Wait,
like me and you, I guess.
When we just talk or on camera?
Yeah, is it hard for you two to talk without the kids, like where me and mommy and daddy time, or do you have a set time of the day to talk to one another without them there? Mostly, we're pretty open. Like
Yeah.
I would say, we're probably a lot more open with our kids than a lot of people are. There's certain topics that we used to like spell, I guess, or like, oh, I'll talk to you about that later. Because Tart, he like the other day there was something going on that was kind of like, we definitely didn't want Tart to know about, and I didn't realize that he was in the room, and I said, so what's up with this thing? And Tart, his ears perks up, and he's like, what's going on? And I was
Right.
like,
It was
we
one
had
of those
like-
moments where like, oh.
we had to make up this kind of like
Hold
white
on.
lie, like, oh, you're 8 now, and like you definitely can't know about that. That's like beyond your maturity. And we, so there's certain times where we put them to bed, and then we are able to talk, or she sends me Morse code. But that's
we
why
got text.
that's why we're excited for school, because we're gonna start putting these kids to bed. I said 9, but you want to put them to bed at 8:30?
You gotta start at like 8 because honestly, it takes us a while to wind down.
To put 4 kids to bed,
Yeah.
to get all their teeth
I
brushed.
talk to parents, honestly, I have friends that their kids are in bed by 7:30. And I'm like, what?
That's so early.
So that's why I'm like, we just gotta start early, and as long as they're in bed, asleep by 9 o'clock is good.
9's good, because then you figure if by the time they finally fall asleep at 10, what time are we gonna wake them up for school? Like 7?
Oh, like 6:45. 7.
Oh yeah, so we should definitely start putting them to bed like 8 o'clock.
Yeah,
because
I
not
think
only
the earlier the better, because they get ornery, and I've noticed that Tart, Babytard are pretty good at waking up, but Princess Tart is like her dad. She can't shut her brain off at night, And so she
Me
is
and-
really tired in the morning.
Me and Princess Tard were watching
can't
MSNBC
sleep.
last night at midnight. We're
Yeah.
watching about the Paul Ryan and Mitt Romney, the presidential campaign, and me and Princess Tard are sitting there on the couch watching, and she just sit there watching it with me because she can't. She's just like me. She'll just lay there and like be thinking about things, and so like I'll go in and like you have to close your eyes to go to sleep, but she'll just be laying there with her eyes open.
It's so cute because when she tries to explain it to me, she's like, I just can't stop thinking. I try to, and I tell her things to think about to help her like relax her mind. She's like, but then I start thinking of this. And it's so cute how she expresses how her brain doesn't shut off. And she's just like you because you have problems doing that
I
sometimes
want to
too.
take my iPhones off.
You can take
My
your
iPhone's
iPhones off.
off.
Go ahead, take them off. You're not gonna be able to hear your cool voice though. Do you want to sing a song?
No.
No. Okay. One thing
No.
that we're going to start doing with the kids that we're going to start incorporating that kind of reminded me of this question about having time for me and Colette to talk is we're going to start doing one-on-one like dates with
Yeah.
our kids where me and Suntard will have like one-on-one time where, you know, it'll kind of be like guys time, but also like Colette can take, you know, Babytard out, just the two of them, like maybe out to ice cream or just kind of have like daddy-daughter dates or just that time where we can have that one-on-one time because with 4 kids, sometimes like they want that attention and they're always kind of like vying for it and they're trying to like does that sound cool?
Like I said, podcast 101.
Yeah. You're gonna break those. Do you see that guy in there? See that guy Roth? Those are his headphones and if you break them, guess what he's gonna do? He will break both of your legs.
No.
He will.
He won't.
He's part of the Mexican mafia, and if he sees you break those, he'll break both of your legs, and you'll end up in a desert in Juarez somewhere. And I'm not.
But he's a
joking.
really nice
Tell
guy.
her, Roth. It's true. You better be careful with those headphones.
It's like, okay.
No.
And
He's totally teasing you. But keep your headphones on your head, okay?
Just a little bit. So, Babytard, actually, to bring up a touchy subject, can we talk about your thumb sucking, Babytard?
Is that okay?
Mm.
She's been doing really good, really. She's stopped. When the whole time Mommy was in New York, she didn't suck her thumb once, and I'm very proud
Good
of you.
job, honey.
Because she said, and she said a couple times, and she said in a video a while ago that when she starts kindergarten, she's gonna stop sucking her thumb. Maybe.
No, you can do it.
And the kids, Suntard and Princess Tard, have been telling her that you can't suck your thumb at school, or else the other kids will make fun of you. Because you don't want to be a baby at school that's sucking your thumb, right? But she has. She's really. I've noticed a definite improvement in her lack of thumb sucking lately.
That's good.
I've been very proud of you.
That's very
'Cause
good.
you're gonna be a big
Plus,
girl, huh?
You're going to be playing with lots of other kids and all the toys, and you're going to be
Germs.
touching lots of things. So if you put your thumb in your mouth, you're probably going to get sick.
Have you ever talked to us about why you suck your thumb? Why do you suck your thumb?
Yummy.
Sure, I said
It's not
delicious.
yummy. That's not why. Why do you suck your thumb?
Does it make you feel better?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we've even put that thumb stuff on her thumbs, and she just
But
sucks
she
it right
hasn't
off.
been doing it lately. Why do you think you've stopped? You really have been doing a good job. What do you think has caused you to stop?
Because you tell me not to.
That's probably why.
I think we have the whole family rallied up to be like, stop.
We do.
Stop.
And I always
Stop.
and I hear it because like if Princess Tard tells her to stop, like they'll get in a fight, and they'll be in the back seat of the truck, and they'll like I'll hear like that because they'll like grab her hand and pull it out of her mouth. So I have like little deputies on call,
I don't know
Stop
if that's a
sucking
great
thumb.
thing or not.
and they
Like, we
grab
always,
and pull it out.
I'm always telling the other kids like that they don't. You know, when Suntard, he's kind of a little parent sometimes.
He is,
like
totally.
he'll get after the kids for things that I get after them, and I always tell them like, you don't have to parent. You know, you don't need to do that. That's what mom does.
And
If you're noticing a
Princess-
problem, just come to me about it. But I've noticed with the thumb sucking, all of them are like,
I
stop,
like
stop,
that
stop.
though. Like I tell him to. I just like to remind her to stop sucking her thumb.
It's helpful.
Oh, which reminds me, the other day when you were in New York, Babytard and Princess Tard were looking for the iPad, right? And so they're like, "Where's the iPad?" They're looking all over for the iPad. Well, Suntard had taken it upon himself to hide the iPad. He'd taken the iPad and put it on top of the refrigerator. And I'm like,
he's seen
I'm
me
like,
do that
I'm like,
probably.
"Where's the iPad? Where's the iPad?" And he's like, he was acting all like he didn't know where it was and stuff. I'm like, Suntard, where's the iPad? And he's like, it's on top of the fridge. I'm like, why don't you just tell them that? He's like, I think they've been playing with it too much. So he was like, he'd taken it upon
He
himself.
didn't take it so
And
that
I'm
he
like,
could play with it. He put it away because he thought they were
I'm like,
playing
dude,
with it too much.
just give him the iPad. He's like, I think they've been playing on it too much. I'm like, who made you in charge of the iPad, bro? Like, I'm the dad here. Like,
He's the iPad police.
Yeah, and so he had like taken the iPad and hidden it, and then when they were like asking where it was, he's like, I don't know where it is. But he thought that they had been on it too much, so he was like policing the iPad. Can you believe your brother did that?
Cute.
He's a pretty good big brother, though.
Jerk.
Huh? Sure.
No, he's not.
You need to look for your brother at school because he's gonna protect you. If any boys are mean to you, son Tart, he's big and strong. He can help you. Do you think you'll say hi to him when you're at school? Give him big hugs. Yeah.
Babytard, you're a good girl. You know that?
No.
You're not?
So let's ask this question. Sandra 22074204 asks, will you be getting another dog soon? Had to put our buddy down last week debating when to get another dog. That's a question that we should answer.
You do? What kind of dog do you want?
Malachi.
Oh.
Where's Malachi, Babytard?
In heaven?
He's in heaven. Why is he in heaven?
I don't know.
What happened to Malachi?
Burnt him up.
Why did we burn him up?
So we can go to heaven?
Malachi died because he was old and sick, and then we cremated him. We explained to the kids what cremation was. So we didn't just burn
Still
Malachi
a little
up.
confusing.
Yeah, I don't know if she totally grasps it yet. Do you know why he died? You don't know why? Do you think that we just burned him up?
No.
No. But we still have Malachi, huh? Where's Malachi? I've never been like a cremation person, but like since we live in LA, there's no place to really bury. Like usually growing up, whenever our dog died, we'd just go and dig a hole in the backyard.
The original
and bury
plan
him.
was that we were going to cremate him and take his ashes and bury him next to Skeeter at a property that we have, well, that his parents own. And when we took his ashes to Idaho, we didn't really want to leave him.
Yeah, I
Is
just
that weird?
like I'm still attached to that little canister.
Yeah. Are you enjoying listening to yourself?
He's in the box.
He's in a box.
in a
right.
box.
He's in a box that we have in our house, huh?
Uh-huh.
Is that
That's
weird?
where his
Do you guys think that's weird?
remains are, but his spirit is actually somewhere else.
Is he in the box, you think? Your hair's looking all funny.
Well,
I think I would have thought
we'll
that
work
was
on that.
weird for somebody to have cremated their dog.
I know. I think it's funny because if somebody would have done that before that happened, I would have been like, that's weird. But now that we did it, it's not weird.
Yeah, we just have those memories.
You know?
Plus, I still have his collar hanging from my rearview mirror in my truck.
Yeah.
And like every time I go around a corner, it jingles
It
a little
jingles.
bit, so it reminds
Gosh,
me.
that's hard.
Does it hurt your
But
heart?
yeah, I think that we will get another dog. We'll wait until we have more room for him. Obviously.
Yeah, we're in an apartment now, and it's like I think we're allowed to have apartments in our pets. We're allowed to have a pet in our apartment, but having
It
an
is a lot
apartment,
more
it's
work.
a pain in the butt. Like every time he has to go to the bathroom to like walk him outside, we have to have a place with a backyard.
The backyard and just room.
now.
We're
go?
almost done.
Do you wanna
We're
go out?
almost done. You can go out and sit on the couch.
You
You
want to
want
go
to do
sit on the
that?
couch? Okay, go ahead. Get out of here. You're ruining our podcast.
No, you're not. Thank you so much.
Take your
Shake my
zucchini
hand.
bread with you.
Thank you so
No.
much for being on our podcast
This is my
today.
zucchini bread. I gave it to her. Isn't this delicious? We
Here,
go
you
to
can take
we
my
go to this
phone.
place and get the zucchini bread.
Um,
All right, we're gonna go to your school in 10 minutes. Okay?
Okay.
There you go.
Butthead.
Hey.
I thought she wasn't.
She always says stuff like that to be funny. Like she would never say that to us.
Well, it
normally.
sounded like she was about to say the F word.
It kind of did.
She
Yeah.
doesn't say the F word. Were you about to cuss, Babytard? Hey, put your face in the camera and say bye. Come look at the camera
Look
and
at
say
the camera.
bye.
Say bye.
Bye.
Worst guest ever.
Oh, she
Would
tries
not
to
sit
be funny.
still.
She'll start
Made a
saying
giant
like,
mess.
eh. And then the other day on the video, she was sucking her thumb. I told her not to, but I was filming, and so she kept sucking her thumb. Like,
She knows.
I'm gonna be so funny if I suck my thumb right now.
That's a good question then. So when the cameras are off,
Right.
what are Mommy Tart and Daddy Tart like? Are we
Well, it
Are we
depends.
mean and loud and abusive?
Always.
Do we ever yell at our children?
Oh, I think everybody does.
Yeah.
I do. I yell.
So
and
give
then,
us an example. When's the last time you yelled at our kids? So I can call CPS.
Okay. I don't know. The
It
last time I
happens, though.
yelled at them.
We're definitely stern with them. Like if we have to be,
Yeah,
like,
it
you have
depends,
to be
like-
stern with kids sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes I yell when it's like I've asked and asked and asked and asked and they still haven't listened to me. And then I always I'm like, oh,
You felt
I
that.
let them get to me
I
too
snap.
much.
I start to snap. I'm like, stop it, right? Like they know my serious face. We haven't had to spank. We spanked our kids.
We haven't had to spank.
We haven't spanked
or
our
time out
kids for a long
for
time.
a while.
It's
Or even I don't feel like I've yelled in a long time either.
Yeah, it's like easier now that they're older that we can like reason with them. Like Wtkgts is a different story. Like we don't spank him because he's just little and he just does whatever the heck he wants. And he's like, we try to like, no, Wtkgts, no. And he like the other day, like he went out the front door and he goes running down the hallway of our apartment, and I'm like, Wtkgts, get back here now. And he looks at me, and goes, like in total defiance, looks at me and shakes his head no, and then goes running as I'm going to chase after him. So what I think it worked. It did work. Reverse psychology. I said, "Okay," and I just went inside the door and shut the door. And I was like, stood there like, please come back, please come back.
I know. I'm like, I don't think I could have done that.
And he did. He came running back. Once he like turned around and realized I wasn't chasing him, like the game was over. And so he like came running back into the house. I'm like, and then I was standing there I didn't totally shut the door, but I didn't, because usually I'm like, come here, and he'll like just turn around and go running. So I'll go running after him, and then he thinks it's a game and he sprints away. But this time I'm like, okay, and I didn't even go after him. And then like I kind of like stepped in the doorway so he could see that I wasn't in the hallway anymore. And he like started to run, and then when he realized I wasn't chasing him, he turned around and looked and saw that I wasn't there, and I was like, oh,
This isn't fun
this
anymore.
isn't fun. So then he came back. But
He's definitely getting to the age where we're probably going to have to start doing timeouts and stuff.
yeah.
Dang it.
And so we did, yeah. Like there was a few times that we spanked our kids,
Yeah.
but we don't have to anymore, just because it's like we can reason with them, and they're really well behaved. Like we lucked out. I don't know what it is, and I think it's about really that we're just open and honest with our kids. Like I don't want to say like they're our friends, because I think that's a unhealthy situation to be like friends with your kids, like to be worried about your kids liking you to be friends with
Right.
them. They have to know that we're still in charge, but we are friends. Like we enjoy hanging out, and you know, like me and Tart talked about going to get a yo-yo, and you know, talking about things that we like together, and that's important. But you gotta, there's this fine line between like, well, I want them to like me, you know, I don't want them to be like, think I'm a cool guy, you know, because that's dangerous. You know, you definitely have to be in charge.
It's like the type of friend when you know you're doing something wrong and your friend can tell you. That's the type of real friend that you
Right.
need. I feel like that's the kind of friendship we have with our kids.
Absolutely.
It's like they can respect us, and they know that we're going to be there for them, and make the hard decisions for them. You know what I mean?
Right. And we have, you know, very honest, open talks with them about, you know, as far as things like, you know, seeing a half-naked girl on a billboard. You know, like we were driving, and Suntard is like looking at this billboard. I'm like, we probably shouldn't look at things like that, huh? And he's like, yeah. And like having those talks, having those conversations, and just being open about it instead of like trying to hide things from your kids. You know, explaining like, well, there's things.
Babytard's giving us the 5-minute wrap
Is it
up.
5 minute? You got a 5 minute?
Thank you. Thanks, honey.
By the way, you're never gonna be on the podcast again.
Yeah, she'll
She's
be back.
slapping the window. She's cute. And then like, bless Suntard's heart, we were at a stoplight the other day, and there's this dude who had this pretty explicit rap song in his car, and he has his sunroof down and his windows down, and we had our windows down, and you know, it's talking about, you know, whatever this rap song was talking about.
What rap songs you usually talk about?
It was pretty explicit. And I was like, whoa. But Suntard, without me even saying anything, he's like, Dad, I think you should roll your window up. And I was like, I think you're probably right. But
Yeah.
it's interesting to like see them develop into people, and to see their different personalities develop, and you know, see what different kinds of people they are and how they evolve. But
Yeah.
you know,
I think just being totally open and honest with them is the number one key, and to be respectful of them, even though they're children. I think a lot of parents
right.
sometimes just are like, no, do this because I said so, and I'm the parent, and that's it. But be respectful and realize that they want to know, they want to understand why we want them to do certain things, or why we don't want them to do certain things. Just being able to talk to them honestly and just be open.
It's like the letter of the law versus the spirit of the law. It's like, clean up your dishes. Every day, clean up your dishes. That's the rule. Do it, or you're in trouble. The spirit of the law is, we'll help out because we're a family, and mom and dad don't want to have to, you know, worry about doing dishes all night. Like, we want to relax and sit down on the couch and watch, you know, TV with you guys too. So instead of being like, pick up your dishes, that's your job, that's your chore, do it or you're in trouble. It's like, you guys, we try to sit down with them and say, help us out. Like, me and mom
Let's
are
work
stressed.
together
You know,
as a
like,
family.
you know, there's a lot of laundry, there's a lot of dishes. Like, let's work together. And the more that we all help out, the happier we'll be, and then we'll all be able to hang out afterwards, because, you know, a clean house feels better. And, you know, we explain the why to the rules that we're giving them. And I feel like that gives them motivation, be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Like if you just reason with them instead of being like, this is the law, do it or else. We kind of say, this is why we want you to do these things, and they will in turn, help you, and you'll be happier. You'll be, blessed. I'm getting religious now because I from church yesterday. Anyways, so that's the goal. We're not perfect parents. We're figuring this out as we go.
Definitely not.
We're young parents. We're both, early 30s, and we have 4 young children. But I feel like we've gained a lot of experience in doing it. And
We've had some good examples and learned from our mistakes and whatnot.
And we've messed up, and we edit those parts out of the video. You don't see that stuff. But, you can't make a daily video vlog for 4 years and not like just see who we are. I feel
Right.
like I don't feel like we're hiding anything from you, but we don't want to, I guess I was listening to this guy on the radio this morning about like, back in the day, now you can tune into other people's drama real time around the world, and everybody has drama. Everybody has problems. It's not like we don't have problems. We don't have frustrations and, times where we, want to strangle each other, but
exactly.
Yeah. We love each other, and we know that at the end of the day, we're going to be a family, and that we have to work through those things. And so you got to figure it out. And
so we don't really want to show you guys more drama,
Yeah. And
we have moments where we're not happy, and we have the camera, but.
And sometimes I get like, I want to say this too, because like, for instance, I tweeted the other day, like Shane Dawson tweeted something about like not wanting to do the daily vlogs anymore. And then Justine tweeted something about, daily vlogs, if you want to have a real life, are like kind of impossible to do if you're editing your own. It's a lot easier now that we have an editor, it's not as much of a full-time, like, it's like and I kind of like, I tweeted something like, the daily vlogs were the best and worst idea I've ever had. And then I got a bunch of these tweets like, oh, you need to quit complaining. And it's like, sometimes we want to be able to share like some of those frustrations and things with you, but then we get, the comments are like, ugh, we can't be open and honest because, people start like, well, you don't have anything to complain about. You have this perfect family. And it's like, well, we want to be able to share those things with you, but sometimes we just choose not to because, of the backlash, I guess.
Right.
Or something.
And we feel like...
that's why these podcasts are good, because we can have these conversations.
Right. And we have, we're just a regular family. We have our normal problems, but the moments
like
where we're
what?
happy, that's when we choose to turn on the
know.
camera, and
I think that's what people want to know. Like,
invite you guys into our lives.
What do we fight about?
Oh, what do we fight about?
What was our last
everything.
disagreement? Okay, so the other night when we were trying to find this freaking movie, me and Colette had this little thing, because we were so excited to go to the movie, and all the family were all pumped, and we're like had just like gotten all ready. And we're like, we're going to the movies. It's Friday night, and so we drive to one theater or what?
And
we literally went to like 3 theaters trying to find a freaking movie.
We're in Los Angeles. We can't find.
I'm
like,
you think in Los Angeles, California, the movie capital of the world, it's easy to find a movie. But we don't want to take our kids to the Bourne Identity or Total Recall.
Right.
So we're trying to find a kids movie, and that's hard when you have 4 kids. So there was a little frustrating moment when we were leaving the Grove, and it was like, Dad, why aren't we watching a movie there? And I was like, because I was about to I'm like, let's just go to Total Recall. Like, I'm like, I don't care.
He's like, I want to go see that anyway.
Let's just go to see that. I was kind of excited. And then I said, like, I said something like, well, your mom doesn't want you to see that. And then she said, like, well, that's not fair of you to say, because it was kind of like this undertone, like, I don't want my kids to see that either. But I was kind of at my wit's end where it's like, I don't even care. Let's just go see the movie. I want my freaking licorice and Coke. Like I don't care if they see a little bit of violence. Like, violence happens. And we read the scriptures, and that has like wars and all kinds of people being stabbed with knives and stuff. Like, so what if they see it on the big screen? This is my my daddy justification, of course. So like I say this little line like, well, your mom didn't want you to see that movie, and then she's like, she's like, well, that's not fair. And we got into a little thing there where it was like, we were just frustrated.
Right. That's like there were real issues, but I feel like that's how every argument starts. Like, there's just things that are going on, outside of the real argument. Like, he wasn't really mad at me.
Yeah. He was
frustrated because he wanted to go to the movie.
I was frustrated because I wanted to have popcorn and licorice.
And we just drove like 25 minutes out of our way to go to this movie.
It's getting late, and now I'm not going to be able to go to the movie. So, like, I kind of, like, blame it on Colette. Like, well, your mom didn't want you to see that. Like, it's her fault that she doesn't want you to see, this dude beating up Europeans all over the place, which is, I feel the same way too. Like, I don't want, Babytard watching some dude stab a guy, yet, but there was that moment. So those are the little things, like, fights are fights. People fight about stupid stuff. That's the thing. And the thing is, it's like, how do you get over that, like, hardness of heart where you're like, how do you like, okay, like it's okay. You know what I mean? That's the goal. That's the real test of, you know, the strengthening of your family is like, how quick can you be like, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that, baby, come here. Like how, you know, can you like, oh, I love you. So it's okay, you know? So our kids see that. And I think if you're just sincere, you just have to have that, you have to be able to like, just be vulnerable and say, I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry. I'm just frustrated about not being able to see the movie. You know, where people won't do that. People won't. They'll just like keep that grudge and they'll keep fighting. Like, well, you know, what's so bad about them seeing a little bit of violence? I could have kept like arguing that point where I don't really want them to see that movie either. But at that point, I was just like, didn't care anymore because I wanted to see the movie, you know? So that's what fights are, is just like people that won't let their guard down, who won't be like, all right, you know, I this is how I really feel. I'm sorry.
Which is really difficult. That's one thing that you've always been really good at. I feel like you're a good example of that in our house. And sometimes I need to work on it. Like I'll be thinking, he's totally right now, but I'm not going to say it.
Right. Anyways, all right. Well, we'll talk some more about fighting and stabbing and children
and
later.
Europeans. What?
Well, this was kind of a crazy podcast. We had Babytard in here, and it was fun. She was cute. I probably guarantee that most of you were just staring at her cuteness most of the time and weren't
she was
listening
probably
to anything
making.
we said.
I guarantee she was making faces that we didn't see.
Yeah.
So.
And we were probably like all stressed out, like, oh, she's like so loud, and like, but you guys probably thought it was the best podcast ever. Anyways, all right, from Maker Studios in Los Angeles, California. Don't forget to download it for free below.
Thank you for watching and listening, and we'll be back next time.
Thanks for your Twitter questions. Every Monday we film these, so just wake up Mondays and have
Ask us some
questions on Twitter, and we'll try to get to them. Love you.
All right,
See you next time.
Bye.